Imagine walking into a popular coffee shop at 8 a.m. The line is out the door, customers are frustrated, and the counter is completely overwhelmed. The delay is happening because the same worker is trying to do everything. If one person takes your order, rings you up, turns around to steam the milk, pulls the espresso shot, and then hands you the drink, the line stops moving. Multiply that by 50 customers, and the whole system collapses. To clear the room, you have to split the jobs. You put a dedicated cashier at the register, whose only job is taking orders. In the back, you place a dedicated barista, whose only job is making the drinks. But those two isolated groups need a way to communicate. That is where the ticket rail comes in. The cashier writes the order, slides the ticket onto the metal rail, and immediately turns back to the next customer. To survive a high-volume rush, you have to split the workload. The act of receiving a request must be totally disconnected from the act of completing it. Digital applications face this exact same morning rush, but on a massive scale. Think about a ride-sharing app or a banking platform. They are hit with millions of separate requests or orders every single second. To handle this overwhelming flow of information, software engineers use a specialized system called Apache Kafka. Kafka acts as a central dispatcher for data, built to handle massive amounts of information without slowing down. You can think of it as a highly advanced digital version of that ticket rail. It sits right in the middle of the system, taking incoming data and holding it safely until the system is ready to process it. Without a dedicated holding zone separating the programs sending the data from the programs receiving it, modern applications would instantly crash under their own weight. We can map our physical coffee shop directly to the specific terms software developers use when building with Kafka. Let's look at the diagram. First, we have what Kafka calls producers. These programs generate data and send it into the system, operating exactly like cashiers taking orders at the front counter. In the center, data flows into the broker, the secure holding zone. Within that broker, messages are organized into specific categories called topics, just like organizing hot and cold drink tickets. Finally, on the right, we have the consumers. These programs actually execute the work by pulling data from the topic. They are the baristas grabbing tickets off the rail and making drinks. Because the producer drops the message in the broker and walks away, the data is stored securely. Even if a consumer crashes or goes offline for maintenance, the message sits safely on the topic rail until a consumer is ready to pull it. But what happens when a sudden, massive data spike hits the system? Imagine a viral event causing user requests to multiply by 10 in a matter of seconds. The intuitive fix is to just hire more baristas. In software terms, you spin up more consumers to process the heavy load of incoming messages faster. Here is the problem. If you have 10 uncoordinated consumers all reaching into the exact same topic at the exact same millisecond, 2 of them will grab the exact same message. They will duplicate the work, processing the same payment or sending the same email twice. Simply adding processing power without a strict organizational structure creates total chaos. The data becomes corrupted by duplicate actions. Let's look back at our diagram. To prevent a collision, Kafka splits the central topic into distinct parallel lanes called partitions. As messages arrive, Kafka automatically sorts them, distributing data evenly across these separate lanes. Next, Kafka introduces a group ID to organize consumers into coordinated teams. By grouping them together, they operate under shared rules. Here is Kafka's ultimate rule. Within a specific group ID, exactly one partition is locked to exactly one individual consumer. No 2 workers can ever reach into the same lane. This organizational rule stops data collisions entirely, which allows the system to grow as big as it needs to without breaking. We can see this exact architecture running behind the scenes of a major food delivery app on a busy Friday night. When you tap Order on your phone, your device acts as the producer. It sends your food request directly into the system and immediately moves on. The central app uses a Kafka broker to catch thousands of simultaneous orders. It sorts them into partitions based on city zones, separating north-side orders from south-side orders. A dedicated group of dispatch consumers sits on the other end. Because of their group ID, one dispatcher reads only the north-side partition, while another reads only the south side. They never overlap, and they never double book a driver. That invisible structural routing is the exact mechanism that plucks your specific order from a sea of millions and ensures your driver finds your front door. Managing high volume requires separating the roles of requesting work and executing work, while keeping the teams highly organized. Kafka's real value is in that structure, taking a chaotic flood of information and turning it into an orderly, reliable flow that apps can actually manage.